Recent reports have came in that the famous YouTuber, the Spartacus 200, is actually terrible at Call of Duty, and based on his gameplays that he shares on his channel, that he does not seem to be that bad of a player, but based on these credible reports from our sources, he seems to not be a great player at all. That's right, you guys. I'm going to come out and say that I am not a good Call of Duty player, or at least I am not as good as I used to be. And we're going to get into the reasons why I think so. And the reason why I'm really making this video is because I think a lot of you may actually relate to this as well. And so I'm curious to know in the comments if you guys have felt like that you have gotten worse at Call of Duty, or whatever the case may be. Maybe you've gotten better at Call of Duty. And so I'd like to hear your reasons why you think you either got better or worse as more Call of Duty games have came out. And there's a lot of different reasons to why people can get worse or better at Call of Duty. Obviously, if you play Call of Duty every single day, you're just bound to get better at the game itself. But of course, when it comes to playing a certain game every single day, you have to be focused, right? And I think that is a huge part about getting good at a video game, especially like a first-person shooter such as Call of Duty, is you have to be really focused. You have to actually want to win. You have to actually want to win your gunfights. You have to actually pay attention to the recoil pattern on the gun you're shooting, so that way when you get into a one-on-one gunfight, you know how to control that recoil and get that headshot and win the gunfight itself. And so I feel like that when I get in gunfights, for example, I am not going to win. Like, there's definitely times where I'll definitely win one-on-one gunfights or whatever, but honestly, it just, for some reason, these past few Call of Duty games, every time I get into a one-on-one situation, I just can't win the gunfight anymore, and I used to be able to do that so flawlessly. And so, you know, of course, when we all first play Call of Duty, we are not good at the game. You know, it's something we're new to. We're trying to figure out the game. My first Call of Duty experience was Modern Warfare 3, and back in that game, I had like a 0.6 kill death ratio, which obviously is pretty bad. And so over time, I started to get better. The next game after that was Black Ops 2. I had like a 1.1 KD. Then Call of Duty Ghost came after that. I had a 1.6 KD. So I kept getting better at Call of Duty. But then all of a sudden, we had these futuristic advanced movement Call of Duty games come out, which completely changed the way we played the game. And so I had to basically relearn a little bit on how to play Call of Duty. Each Call of Duty game does play differently. That's something I'll definitely stand by. I really do think that each Call of Duty game plays differently than any other game out there, any other Call of Duty game out there, because you know, they always change it up a little bit to where it's kind of more unique and not exactly the same as a previous Call of Duty title. And so when a new Call of Duty game comes out, we do always have to adjust to the game itself and figure out how to actually play it. Even though the core idea of Call of Duty is still the same, it still plays just slightly differently than other games, at least other titles from the Call of Duty series. And so we're actually going to go ahead and take a look at my combat record in Black Ops Cold War, because I thought you guys might be interested to see what my stats are, since I'm calling myself a bad player at this game. So if we go ahead and look here, you can see I have 9 days played, over 1,600 games played. I only have a win-lose ratio of 1.22. I am mostly a solo player, so when I'm playing, I'm not usually with a party of friends or anything like that. I usually have a bunch of randoms on my team, and normally I have to carry them, and sometimes I carry them so hard and we still end up losing. Really frustrating. I'm trying to get into free-for-all more, but free-for-all is a huge sweat fest in Cold War. And then we look at my elimination/death ratio. Now, the one thing you got to take note of about eliminations, that also includes the assists you get. So it's your kills and assists. Those are called eliminations, just like we saw in Black Ops 4, which, by the way, I don't like the elimination feature in Call of Duty. Just stick with the kill-death ratio, because it's so much more accurate on how good of a player you actually are. Because right now we see that my elimination/death ratio is 1.55, but realistically that number should be lower, considering a lot of those eliminations are actually assists I got at enemies, not actual kills. And so I would argue that maybe 1.3 is my actual kill-death ratio. Then my score per minute is 550. It's hard to say if that's actually good or not, because with Treyarch titles, at least these past few Treyarch titles, having a 550 score is pretty easy. Score per minute anyway is pretty easy to get. And so I know there's people out there who probably have over 700 score per minute. Those are the good Call of Duty players. And then there's eliminations per game, which is 23. Then my personal best, my highest kill streak, and I believe this only counts as like the kill streaks like you get for getting medals, like the kills that count towards a nuclear. So 23. Yeah, I've only been on a 23 kill streak. I've never even gotten the 25 kill streak medal. I've never gotten a nuclear in any Black Ops game, and a matter of fact, in case you guys didn't know that. So that really tells you something. In Black Ops 4, I got over 25 kill streak many times, but I can never get the nuclear for some reason. And then you can look at my top 3 weapons, the MP5 being in first place, which has just over 800 kills more than the Krig. So you might think that you're using the MP5 all the time and you only have a 1.5 elimination/death ratio. Well, here's the thing, you guys. I don't use the MP5 anymore. I have not touched that thing since the game first came out, and I was trying to get that thing gold while it was still pretty good in the game. And so back then, I used it a lot, and I was trying to get my point-blank kills, which was not easy to get back then. I couldn't figure out a good strategy, and once I found a good strategy, I got the thing gold and completely moved on from it and never touched it again. So yeah, that's why I still have a lot of kills with it compared to the Krig and the AK. I don't use any of these guns anymore just because I'm trying to work on other guns to get them gold. And then, of course, we can look at my elimination/death ratio for my top 3 weapons, and you can see that the Pharah has over a 2 KD, as well as the LW3 Tundra. It's barely over a 2 elimination/death ratio, but like I said, it's an elimination/death ratio, not a KD, so my assists with these guns also count towards this ratio, which is something I personally don't like. So I do have 2 guns that are over 2, but other than that, everything's below a 2. So anyway, those are my brief stats in combat record for Black Ops Cold War, so you guys have a good idea of what kind of player I am and what kind of skill gap I would be in the Call of Duty series. And to be fair, when Modern Warfare came out, I was terrible at the game. I think it's the worst Call of Duty multiplayer ever made, and I actually have like a 1.3 KD in that game. And so I would say ever since Black Ops 4, I have not been that good at Call of Duty. And a matter of fact, Black Ops 4, I was pretty good at that game, but Modern Warfare and Black Ops Cold War, those 2 titles, I have just been like getting worse at the game. And the reason why I think I'm getting worse at Call of Duty, for one reason, there's skill-based matchmaking. We all know about that. That could definitely be a huge factor, and it's something I think is definitely in the game. I mean, it's been proven by actual content creators who tested this out themselves that yes, skill-based matchmaking is in Modern Warfare and Cold War, and so that could be a reason why my kill-death ratio is not that great, why my stats aren't as good as they used to be in previous Call of Duty games. And then, of course, there's also other factors as well. I was in college the past 4 years, and I try to focus on school a lot, like especially in my senior year. I focused on school a lot, and I took a whole break from YouTube, and so I wanted to focus on school, and it did pay off. I mean, I ended up graduating, of course, and so I think having all these other different important parts of my life that I need to actually focus on rather than just play video games has definitely taken a toll on my skill in Call of Duty, because back in high school, you know, after school, I would like have sport practice, and then I'd come back home and I would just play video games because, you know, I actually had time to play way more Call of Duty back then than I do now. And I think that's definitely a huge factor on why I am not as good as I used to be in Call of Duty. So we have the skill-based matchmaking factor, and we also have the factor where I have to deal with real life. So putting those together makes me a worse Call of Duty player, essentially. I still don't think I'm a terrible Call of Duty player. I'm still maintaining above a 1 KD, obviously. And maybe I could try out some other game modes. I really want to get into Search and Destroy and Warzone more, because I feel like learning those 2 modes will actually help me improve my skills in Call of Duty, especially moving forward in the future when there's new titles coming out. And so that's just something that's been really on my mind lately, because I'm like, you know what? What happened to me? Like, I'm looking at old gameplays, I'm thinking about my old stats in previous Call of Duty games, and I'm looking at my current stats, and I'm just like, what happened to me? Why am I not doing as good as I used to do back in the older Call of Duty games? But yeah, obviously it could also do with the game itself. You know, maybe there's a bunch of BS features that just makes the game so much worse, like Modern Warfare. Like, the map designs were terrible, the whole mounting system made people, it was a huge incentive for people to camp, especially the camo challenges, and there was just all these different reasons why Modern Warfare just made me a terrible Call of Duty player. But anyway, that's really what I wanted to say here today, you guys. If you're somebody who is experiencing the same thing as me. Maybe you're in the same boat where you're not improving at Call of Duty more, it seems like you're getting worse at the game, or maybe you're improving at Call of Duty game, maybe you're actually getting better, and I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts down below on if you're getting better or worse at the game and reasons for that. So anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more Call of Duty videos every single day, and I shall catch you guys later.